So it has been an incredibly long journey to get here, but we are ready to take our first steps into League Two today, away at Sutton United. We've also made quite a few signings, so we're going to get you caught up on all of those, as well as everything else that's been going on over the off-season. Also worth noting, I've slightly been messing around with my mic a bit over the course of this episode, so there might be some areas later on that it sounds a little bit different, but it's not majorly noticeable, I would say. But yeah, anyway, no more delaying, let's just get into it. So obviously we finished the season in the last episode, so I'm just going to quickly fly through a few bits of the end of season review. It won't be quite as in-depth as it has been in previous seasons, because we've normally just done that after the final game of the season, but there was no way I was going to add an extra 20-25 minutes onto the end of the last episode. As far as inbound signings go, of course the board thinks we paid over the odds for James Wright in goal, who's on £90 a week and has played 50 matches. That's absolutely preposterous. Ashley Clark, brilliant. It's all about the money as far as the board's concerned. Williams, Foyo, Lewis, Shepherd, done. I mean, that's our main signings realistically. We obviously had quite a few people join us. As far as players out go, Williams is a C, Tanadre C, Helliwell C, Ratchford C, Wadham C, and I'm assuming Archer's going to be an A. What? Is an A? Is only a C plus? Despite us getting nearly 500,000 from him. It's so weird. Selling players, the board don't seem to think that that's a good deal. But when you buy someone and pay them £90 a week and they play every single game of the season, pretty much, that's apparently us getting ripped off. Loans out, relatively pointless, to be honest. We were just trying to get a few wages off the books. As far as the season goes, we started off a bit sketchy. Had a pretty good run. We kept having runs of 4 wins in a row, and then we win 1 in 4, and win 1 in 6 actually there. Then 4 wins in a row. Don't win 2, 4 wins in a row. We don't win in 4, 4 wins in a row. Two games that we don't win. 3 wins in a row, a loss, 2 wins in a row. Although obviously those last 2 wins are in the playoffs. That was required regardless, and one of them was technically a draw. But yeah, it was a very, we didn't find a consistent bit of form throughout a good chunk of the season. We'd just have lots of little patches of, we're playing well, and now we're not. And now we are, and now we're not. But it didn't really matter because we ended up getting promoted, I suppose. I mean, we got a rating for the team, A+. 672 average attendance, which is only 20% full. Emirates FA Cup, we got a B-. I mean, we went out to Man United. What do you really expect? We had a very easy run getting to Man United, but that is not the point. And then the FA Trophy, 4th round, lost to Rochdale. That's the annoying one. This is the one that I definitely feel like we could have done better in, especially as I think this is our last year in the FA Trophy. Now that we're in the Football League, we don't play in it. I'm just double-checking back some of the rounds. Yeah, it's Vanarama National League and below. So this is a trophy that, well, hopefully we never get a chance to win, because hopefully we never get relegated back into playing in it. The biggest win was a 5-2 victory over Boreham Wood. Match to remember, a 2-1 victory over Cambridge United. I mean, we got 2 early goals and then held on for the rest of the game. That doesn't seem like it should be the match to remember. The goal of the season was Callum Archer's goal against Bromley. Let's quickly check that out. It was the only goal of the game. Oh, it's a free kick from well outside the area. Oh, beautiful top corner finish there. That's one thing I'm going to miss from him. He was so much better at free kicks than anyone we've had, so I might try and look to get a specialist in, or at least a midfielder that can do it. Now, reputation-wise, we are still local. We haven't gone any higher than that. Sponsorships, we got an extra 3,000 the year before. Broadcast revenue, an extra 2,000. Corporate and hospitality, up 15,000, 16,000. I suppose that's probably down to the Wembley trip at the end. Competition prize money, 128. We went into the 3rd round of the FA Cup, so that's to be expected. And match day income, 156,000. Merchandise sales, we only got 3.67 thousand. 53 shirts sold, which were mainly Birchall, Woodyard, Williams, Agbenone and Foyo, of which only Agbenone and Foyo were staying next season. It's not all the fan favourites are leaving. So we rotated the team a fair amount. Our key players played a major role in how the season turned out. Looking at this lineup, I probably would have put Foyo ahead of Gofford. Gofford only played 19 starts and 12 sub-appearances. But apart from that, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I'd have switched Boyang and Dunn round as well, because that's how they lined up. But yeah, overall, I think this is pretty accurate. I do think it's hilarious that tactical style is wing play and we don't use wingers. on our best formation. Doesn't really make sense. Looking at accolades, we won the Vanarama National League North Manager of the Season. Yeah, that was the season before. We got the Manager of the Month awards in January and March, and we are one of the front runners for it this year, but it hasn't been announced yet. So if you don't see a clip of me winning that very shortly, assume that we didn't. James Wright was Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season and Signing of the Season. Goal of the Season, Archer. Top goal scorer, Clark. Assists went to Agbanone. Player of the Match awards went to Ashley Clark. Highest average rating went to James Wright. And Lewis Jackson was the most passes completed. Competition awards, we've got nothing. Most league appearances from a player is now 153 from Tommy Jackson, and that's where that record will stop, I believe, because he is leaving. And Callum Archer got the record transfer fee, just under $500,000. History in the making. Remarkable time. Like, it really annoys me that this is all... Every single time you get promoted, it says, a remarkable season for your club. Started superbly and never let up. They're deservedly going up. And the Sevilla football at the start of the season was the making of Charlestown. We were, at the start of the season, we were in like 17th. It's 100% the last half of the season that is what has got us promoted. But it never recognises that in the end of the season bit. Right, oh God, this timeline's getting a bit out of control at this point. Where did we go? That was us winning the National Manager of the Season. Cade Ratchford left. We get celebrated 5 years in charge. Marley Turnbull joined. Managed to beat Oldham in the FA Cup. Foyo joined. We marked our 300 match as manager, which is a crazy achievement. Club legend Ephraim Yeboah has agreed to leave, although he's not actually gone yet, so it's weird that is on the timeline. And we are going up, which is good as expected to happen. It should be celebrated in less. That was the mantra of Charlestown when they clinched promotion to League Two. But we were expected to get relegated. Why is it saying that was something? I don't get it. But either way, it was a fantastic season. So let's get on with preparations for the next one. And this was something that I was quite scared was going to happen. Obviously, we knew we'd have to expand the stadium a bit. I was hoping it might be, another like small cost that we could get away with. But it's going to cost 1.4 million. And I mean, half of that is going to be covered by a grant from the council, basically. But yeah, we're still going to be spending 700,000 on this, which will immediately drop us well into the red again. This is not good. And there we go, Manager of the Year. It does actually make sense because I didn't actually realise we actually won the most games in the league last season. We won one more than Notts County, who won the league, but we also lost 6 more than they did, and that's obviously what came to our downfall. We were the second highest scorers, but also, we conceded 20 goals more than Aldershot, 12 more than Notts County. Like, it was just, we just couldn't keep them out. So it definitely helps identify where the problem is. We definitely need to strengthen up our defence, and we need a reliable striker because obviously Ashley Clark loans ran out and we're losing a few other key players. So obviously we've still got a lot of work to do bringing in players, but I just thought I'd give you a quick peek behind the curtain sort of thing. I've got a massive short list of all the players that were released at the end of the contracts that expired, 2 days ago at this point. And I mean, I know it's only 2 days ago or 1 day ago for some of them that these have all been released, but in gameplay hours time, that is probably like 5 or 6 at this point. I've just been scouring this list up and down. We've got it on, interested in transfer, unsure, at least. If I take it off, there's actually 3,900 players on here, but with that, it comes down to 3,300, just gets rid of the unrealistic possibilities. And then it's just a case of going through a majority of these and just seeing what they look like. And I mean, there's a lot of players that jump out as being pretty good, but then, you try and offer them a contract and they just want way too much money. Like, for instance, I mean, Lewis Jackson, he was with us last season, did actually try and re-sign him for this season now that he's left Man United, but he won't consider it for anything less than 1,400 a week, not paying that. Ashley Clark's on here. I don't remember exactly what he wanted, but he definitely wanted too much. I think it was under 1,000, but we couldn't get him low enough. But yeah, we have also got some offers in for some of these, like Phil Atherton. I believe I've just negotiated a contract with him. Looking at him for a deep line playmaker, good passing, good vision, work rate, teamwork, technique, very brave, very balanced, which is apparently a key thing for a playmaker, which I never actually noticed. Would be very happy to have him in the team. We've got Chima Aliyu, who we've got offers in for. Again, he's got a couple of yellow points, very strong, 5'11". Basically either a fullback or a centre-back. I mean, he's not going to be a star man, I would say, but he would definitely get a good chunk of games over the season. But yeah, we've got quite a few offers in. Yeah, I mean, look at that. We've got offers in for 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 attackers at the moment. So yeah, we've got a lot to work on. I believe even if we signed all of these, which I don't think will be the case, we'll be coming in under the wage budget. But I am under no impressions that we are going to get all of these. Right, so we have got the draw for the Papa John's Trophy Southern section today. We are probably not going to do too well in this tournament. Obviously, you get a lot of big teams with their under-21 teams in here, you know, like Arsenal, Chelsea. There is a lot, and even though they're listed as the second seeds, it's not really the case because they always end up with a couple of the overage players from the first team playing in them. So yeah, we're just going to draw all teams and see what happens. We end up with Brighton under-21s, Gillingham and Swindon. Swindon are League 2, Gillingham are League 1, and obviously Brighton are just the Brighton youth team. Could be a worse draw. There is some much bigger teams here. And obviously, you know, the other half is going to have some pretty big teams as well. Let's just draw them. That's not going to affect us. But, you know, your Man Cities, Man Uniteds and Liverpools are going to be very scary on this side. But yeah, we'll give this a good shot. I am not sure it's going to come to anything, but it should at least, you know, bring in a bit of money from the away days and stuff potentially. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. So it has actually been quite a while since I've recorded a clip for this save. We've done a hell of a lot of scouting and signing of a decent amount of players, I would say, over the summer. But I thought I'd come back now because obviously we've got our game against Sutton tomorrow, so let me get you caught up on all the signings. I did actually record some clips of me signing some of them. There's quite a few, so I think I'll just blast them all out in one go and we'll show you that instead. Right, so we're still working on a deal for Kyle Samuel, who will potentially be our 3rd choice centre-back, maybe 4th choice, but we'll get back to him because I'm still not 100% sure on him because £550 a week is quite a bit. But yeah, we have signed 9 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9 players, yes. I definitely knew that off the top of my head. So we're going to start off with our centre-back pairing for the season. We've got Stephen Mulroney on loan from Bradford City. A very good centre-back option, I think. He's tall, he's strong, he's not slow. He's good at, you know, marking, tackling, decent at heading. It's weird how many 6-foot-plus players are awful at heading, but, you know, we will deal with that as it goes on. I don't like the fact that his main role is known as a centre-back. I prefer just centre defenders, but he's going to be able to do more than a good enough job at both of them. But yeah, he is a pretty good deal, and we're not actually going to be paying him any wages over the time he is with us. So that is obviously a fantastic little deal. And then paired with him is going to be Chima Aliou. We've managed to get him after his contract with Newcastle expired in the Premier League. Came through the youth system there, didn't actually play any games. And again, he's also very good. I mean, it says he's primarily a left-back, but he's not really playing there. Because if we look at his centre-back stats, you know, I mean, 12 heading, 12 marking, 11 tackling, 16 strength, 5'11", good determination, good bravery, good positioning. Again, not the fastest. We're not going to be able to play a super high line, I don't think. But he is just more than good enough for what we need. So I think he's going to be a very good signing. Onto the right back position, we did actually have 2 players join us. It's a bit weird not going through these in order, but I just want to go position by position. Sam Batty joined us first, I'll be honest. I was absolutely thrilled when I got him, and since then I'm a little bit less thrilled, but yeah, he's definitely going to be a very good option for us. He's going to be primarily playing as a right back. 11 marking, 12 tackling, decent speed, just pretty decent all round, quite frankly, good work rate. He's definitely going to feature quite a bit throughout the season, but we are paying him £450 a week, which is a little bit more than I would have liked to, considering we also found Benito Trundle, who was the last person who's joined us, who his technical stats don't look quite as good, but you know, he's one of those players that don't have many stats that are up in the blue, but all of the relevant stats are slightly below it. It's like 10 heading, 11 marking, decent passing as well, 11 tackling, 11 positioning, good strength, pretty good speed. I mean, he's got decent pace, slightly worse acceleration. He's probably going to be our first choice right back for the season. He's also going to have to double at centre back though sometimes throughout the season. So obviously that's where Sam Batty will come in and play. But he's going to be our primary right back for the season. So when he's got a cover, that's where Sam Batty will come in, cover for him. It does mean that Lewis is going to be moving to the left back, but we'll go over that shortly. Behind them, actually, we've got Daryl Ombang who's joined, who is a very good little keeper, to be honest. Can also play sweeper keeper pretty well, which is something I have been looking for because I feel I do like to play with a sweeper keeper, but I thought we'd pick him up. He's on £400 a week. He's got a lot of bonuses, but obviously that's all dependent on him playing well, so I don't mind paying them. And if I compare him to James Wright, I mean, he is just a much better keeper, to be honest. I mean, much worse in communication, slightly worse in mental, but absolutely destroys him in everything else. So I felt like he was pretty much a guaranteed buy when I saw that he was available on a free. Also only 23 years old, so we've got two good young goalkeepers. Both of them can play. I mean, if Ombang doesn't end up performing, I'm more than happy having James Wright in there as well. But yeah, I do think Ombang is the better option. So onto our midfield, we've had Ryan Sherwood join us. He's an attacking midfielder. He's very much my sort of replacement for Morehouse, and he's not going to be playing the Mazzala role, I don't think. We're going to put him in more of an advanced playmaker in the middle and have him as probably an attacking advanced playmaker, I think. It says his support is best, but I think he can do either pretty well. Good dribbling, good everything really. 14 passing, 15 technique, good first touch. Could do with his teamwork and vision being a little bit better, but that's not the end of the world. And, he's not the fastest. But I definitely do think he could absolutely run the show in the middle, and I'm delighted to have him on board. We actually signed him on loan from Bournemouth. We are paying £140 a week off his wages, but that is an absolute bargain, quite frankly. So I am all right with that. On top of that, we've had Lloyd Jones join. He's a youth player. He's going to be out on the right. He is pretty good, good passing, good crossing, good dribbling. It's more just so we've got that option of having wingers if we need to switch to it. I don't plan on playing that formation a whole lot this season, but having, Jones and probably Agbanone on the wings if need be will work. And we're going to have to mix up our formation at some point, obviously. So he was an outright signing after he left Aston Villa. And he also, one of the reasons that I did go for him, we had a scout report in yet, and he's got potential to be a championship winger. So, worst case scenario, we could actually get a bit of money for him, I suppose. We've also had Moses Abba join. It's a sort of similar situation. He's probably not a first teamer at the moment. But, I had a little bit of wage budget free. He's only come in on £250 a week. His contract with Whitchurch ran out, I think. I can't remember if it ran out or if we just signed him for free. But either way, I think he's going to be pretty good for us. And he is a League One standard left winger in the future. So not quite as good. But I think between the two of them and Agbanone, we've got some good options on the wing. If we do need to switch to that, we might have a lopsided formation at some point. You never know. And then our last sign-in has been Stephen Bain on loan from Coventry City. He's probably going to be our main man leading the line this season, our replacement for Ashley Clark, I suppose, from last season. Not brilliant dribbling, but 12 finishing, 12 first touch, good technique, good work rate, reasonably strong, reasonably fast, 6 foot. Not really much more you can ask for, to be honest. He is joining for the season on £450 a week, so we'll have to see. We're paying if we don't use him, but I don't plan on not using him, so it's not really a concern. And yeah, I'm really excited to have him up front. So that sort of leaves our team looking like this. Like I said, I'm banging goal, Lewis, Aliou, Mulroney and Trundle. Foyo just in front of them. Didn't actually mention him, but yeah, he's going to be keeping his defensive mid spot. We've got Boyang, Sherwood and Dunn across the middle. Dunn and Boyang both shown they could play the Mazzala role very well last season when required. And obviously now Morehouse has dropped down to the bench. He can't really play at this standard. He has got one season left in his contract. We're going to have to see if anyone comes in for him. I'm not against looking for another centre midfielder, but as it stands, we're going to keep it like it is. He's very much our fourth choice, though, at the moment. He'll get plenty of games, but if everyone's fit, he will not be on the team. And we've got Bain and Wheeldon currently, but Wheeldon could quite easily swap out for Agbanone. I don't really know which way around these are going to go. I am potentially looking to get another striker in, but I've sort of exhausted all of the good options when I've been looking through this. Everyone that's left is either too good to want to join us, or wants a ridiculous amount of money, or is just an awful player in general. So I think it is that I'm going to leave it closer to the transfer window closing, because obviously around that point some players' wage demands and stuff come down. They're willing to join a slightly worse team because maybe they haven't got pushing for promotion League 2 or a League 1 team coming for them that they're going for. So if that happens, we will then step in and try and grab a couple more players. I've made sure to leave some of my wage budget available. We've got 2,000, so potentially I'm thinking if our top players are earning 400, 450, we've got enough for 4 players probably there, maybe 3 really good players. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good. And okay, it's time for our first match of the season up against Sutton United. We are obviously away, so I'm playing a bit more balanced, just, not really going for it. Still in the mentality that's changed. I think I might go positive at home, but yeah, I don't really know where we stand this early in the season, so we're just going to leave it as it is for now. We've got Ombang in goal, Lewis, Aliou, Mulroney and Trundle across the back. For your defensive mid, Boyang, Sherwood and Dunn across the middle. Sherwood in the attacking playmaker role. I have been looking over the stats, and because my assistant and stuff has been recommending these two should be the other way around, I'm not sure which way they're going to be for the season. I'm going to start them like this for now. but I'm not really sure. I mean, Sherwood has got much better passing and stuff than Dunn, but his vision is a little bit lower, so I don't really know which way it will work better. But that's just sort of going to have to come down to trial and error. And then up front, we've got Bain, and I think I'm starting with Agbenone for this game. Like I said, it could go either way, and we might have neither of them starting alongside Bain once we may probably get into the striker at some point. But yeah, for now, I think that is what we're going to go with, and we will start the match to round out this episode. Some players are looking a bit nervous. I mean, I think, yeah, this is Stephen Bain's first ever start in a game. I think Ryan Sherwood has played once. Yeah, he played once for Bournemouth in the Championship 4 years ago. So it's his first game since, probably being a first teamer. I really don't know what to choose, but I think the one the assistant recommends, everyone exists to lose out here, go and prove them wrong. There's no pressure on us. That does make sense because we are the new boys to the division. We're going to make sure that we tried to get Stephen Bain on form, but it didn't really work out. And I think defence, I'm going to try and G up a bit, but none of them paid any attention. Oh, we've actually got a proper layout now. That is nuts. I've completely forgot about that. Sutton lined up in a 4-4-2, it looked like, and we're in a 4-1-3-2. This is actually almost harder to tell the formation than it is on the other screen, on the other layout. I don't know. Oh, I really like this. This is like proper official stuff. This might be the first time in this year's Football Manager that I've been in the Football League. I think I normally start off with a Premier League save just like during the beta. But I'm pretty sure that this is the first time that I've seen all of this stuff. And I think it's really cool. But either way, corner gets headed out by Ombang, and then a brilliant save from a very long shot from Sutton. I didn't actually see who shot it, but there's another corner coming in. I can't say that's Woods who's taking it, and Ombang collects. This has been a brilliant 3 minutes for the new goalkeeper. This is... Wait, are we on... Yeah, we're still on. I was thinking, why is every highlight from behind the goal? This doesn't make sense. But yeah, Aliou with a free kick. We're in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Mulroney with a header. Oh, and he hits the bar. Or the post. One of the two. I don't know. Or both. Sedkovic gets tackled by Trundle and the highlight ends. Oh, that would have been an amazing start to his time here from Mulroney. Okay, we've had a little bit of a quiet period now. We're up to the 20th minute for the next highlight. It's weird, you can sit here with no highlights at all, and then as soon as I point out the fact that there's no highlights, suddenly one pops up. Yeah, Lewis collects the ball, and Aliou gets it away, all the way up to Agbenone. Sherwood now coming forward. He's going to get a pass inside. No, he's looking to go outside. Can get a cross in. No, he puts it back to Lewis. Out to Foyo. And, oh, a little grass skimmer there, and it just goes wide. Osman Foyo nearly getting what I think, would that be his first goal for the club? I don't remember him scoring. But there has been quite the gap between last season and this season, so, like, real lifetime. Harker with a free kick in a dangerous position, and he just curls it straight around the wall into the goal. Not a whole lot we could do about that, I will say, but that's quite frustrating to concede. It's a good finish. But, yeah, that's annoying. Lewis free kick to the back post. Foyo jumps. Oh, and he does get a goal. First goal of the season for the club. And a brilliant header. Little 5-foot Osman Foyo leaping like a salmon and putting it into the back post. It was really hard to track this. It looked like it was going so far wide. But no, that is just a brilliant header. But yeah, half-time, 1-1. It definitely could be going better, but it could be going a lot worse as well. I think we've been unlucky so far. Proud of everyone's efforts, let's say that. I know you've got the ability to go out there. Some of these players are not easily convinced. Trundle and Stephen Bain still looking apprehensive. Our strikers haven't really done anything. Boyang's just took a pretty horrible knock, but he is back up to half fitness. He just shot down to, like, practically dead. But someone obviously came and give him the shock. What is it called? The paddles and you shock the... I don't fucking know. Never mind. Yeah, we've got a throw in. Now Sherwood loses the ball though, but it does only come back to Mulroney. Now Lewis puts the ball up. Bain heads it on. Agbenone. That was odd. Sort of gets dispossessed and it just gets passed back to them. Archer in goal. Their Archer in goal. Trundle, nice tackle, but can't get the follow-up. Sherwood, nice tackle. And Trundle and Dunn get it away. Now Foyo's looking to break across. He gets a long ball over towards Agbenone. He's in miles of space on this right wing. Brilliant passing. And Stephen Bain absolutely shits the bed on the finish. That 100% should have been a goal. Lewis out to Bain now. Done. Good pass into Bain. Oh, that's going out for a corner, isn't it? No, goalkeeper managed to collect it in time. It looked like it was going out with a lot more pace than it actually was. A good header there, done. And Sherwood looks to make a move now. We seem to be really good on the ball this season. I mean, I say that as we lose it, but still. It's a good tackle, a good attempted tackle from Dunn. I feel like Trundle should have been chasing that one a little bit more, but Foyo is trying to cover back. Walks into the middle, and Sedkovic headers over. Either way, it is not a goal. I'm going to probably make a substitution or two. Who's not been doing brilliantly? I don't think there's anyone that's like, absolutely shamed themselves. Smallrini is looking a little bit tired. He's not had a bad game by any means though, so we're going to bring Shepherd on for him. Sherwood's not been having a brilliant game, so actually I think I'm going to do what I said I might do. Swap these two over. I've done in the advanced playmaker role, where he basically played last season, and Sherwood as a Mazzala. I'm actually going to go supporting and have Sherwood more attacking, I think, as well. Other than that, I am going to leave it for now. I might end up bringing Wielden on. But quite frankly, for the first game of the season, I'm not disappointed with a point, really. I haven't looked at where exactly... Actually, you know what? Where are Sutton expected to finish in the league? Let me just get that up. I know we're close to the bottom. Oh, we're not actually bottom anymore. Sutton are expected to be 16th, so they're not a brilliant side. So there is a chance we could nick something here. So actually, based on that, I'm going to go just up to positive. See if we can maybe control this a little bit more and get forward. A bit of encouragement for the team. Everyone seems buzzing about that. Now we've got a free kick with Lewis on the edge of the on the edge of the pitch. That's a penalty. Ali who gets pushed over. We've got an 88th minute penalty. Oh God, I didn't check my penalty takers. Who's taking this? Aaron Lewis steps up. Oh, come on. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Beautiful way for us to maybe win our first 3 points in the Football League. I do feel like it's pretty fair. They've had a couple of pretty good attacks throughout the game, but generally speaking, we have been all over them. That is an incredibly loud roar as well. You have to quiet that in the edit. Chana with a crossover, and they Nibsley, something like that. I don't know. Heads it over. Long ball over. Ombyang picks it up. Got 4 minutes of added on time, I can see. And we're in the 3rd minute of that. Just this it's only a slightly different bar at the top, but it has thrown me off a little bit. Oh, ball just gone straight over the defence. Stephen Bain. Oh, and he secures the 3 points by getting the team's 3rd goal. That just came from absolutely nowhere. And hopefully that will help with his confidence a bit. He won't be quite so apprehensive. That was just a classic Chelmsford Town goal. A long ball over. The defence did absolutely nothing. And Bain pops it into the far side. And there we go. Look at that XG jump in the last 5 minutes or so. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, like I said, I definitely feel like we deserve to win that. And yeah, from the XG, even when they scored, they weren't up to our XG level. We just were consistently the better team throughout that match. And that actually gives me a little bit of hope for this season. So that result actually puts us up in 2nd place, which that would be insane if if we even finish in the playoffs this season, I'd be over the moon. We did kind of fluke playoffs last season, although nearly managed to fluke the title, I suppose. But yeah, that is an absolutely brilliant start to the season. Have we actually won a first game of the season for a while? I feel like we lost last season's first game. 3-2, that was a very annoying game. I remember that. They had a late winner. Season before, we lost 1-0 to Radcliffe. Season before, we lost 2-1 to Tamworth. Season before, we drew 2-2 against Bishop's Cleeve. There's a lot of games here. That threw me off a little bit. Season before that, we did manage to beat Market Drayton. So that's the first time since our 2nd season that we've managed to win the first game of the season. They're absolutely incredible. So we are going to be jumping forward, as we usually do, a little bit later into the season, but we're not going to be doing it just yet this time. For starters, the next episode is going to be the 50th episode, so I feel like we should mark it in some way. And considering quite a few times over the course of the save, I've said, once we get into the Football League, we'll take a look around the Football League, see if there's been any surprising promotions, relegations, see who's won each division going up and probably some of the major leagues around Europe, see what the biggest transfers around the world are, that sort of thing. I'm going to get that done in the next episode, and we're also going to do a little recap on the journey we've come to, just because, now we're starting to approach the big leagues, let's say. I both want to use the 50th episode to commemorate how far we've come, and also potentially give people a jumping on point if they weren't interested in the lower league football. So we're going to be doing both of those things in the next episode. The episode after, we will probably be doing the Forest Green game as our first League Cup match. And then also I might try and do the Papa John's Trophy game as well, because it's also the first time we've been in that. So, it's just a bit of a novelty. We'll do both of those. There's a couple of games in between, do a little catch up on those. And then I'll probably take the episode after that to jump forward, about a third of the way through the season like we normally do. So it's not going to be anything, too crazy. And normal service will be resumed relatively quickly. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave a like or comment down below. It really does help out a great deal, and it means a hell of a lot to me as well. It's pretty nutty that we are this far up the Football League at this, well, we only just got into the Football League, but up the football pyramid. But of course, this is not the end of the journey, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of it. There's plenty more football to play this season. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.